Hey guys, my very first live stream. And the reason I'm going live on my very first live stream is that today it looks like about 60 more subscribers and my channel will hit 50,000. So I thought I'd go live and just share the joy with you guys. Thank you so much for all the thank you so much for all the subscriptions and the support and the good comments. I started today noticing that there were some strange comments, and YouTube had promoted me to up and coming YouTube creator or something like that. So that if you clicked on the YouTube homepage and went to their trending tab, I was featured there today, and I was so humbled by that and so excited. But the problem with that was all of a sudden you attract all these kind of unusual characters, and I started seeing people that I don't usually see. Hey, Moaman, how you doing? Hey, Grateful Gamma Ray Patty, how you doing? So yeah, I started seeing these strange comments coming through, held for review, links to various things, and I thought, what's going on? Hey, Greta, how you doing? Good to see you. And I started seeing all these strange links coming through, and thought, what's going on? Why am I getting all these strange comments? And hey, Jason Avers, how you doing? Hey, Amy, how you doing? The Yumleas, how you doing? Hey, Suzanne, Grant, and wow. So yeah, so I started seeing all these strange comments coming through. And I thought, what's going on with my channel? Some weird things are going on. Hey, Donna. Hey, Amanda. And from Humble at Tascasita area. Wow, you're close to me. You're like an hour drive. That's close in Houston, huh? Hey, Bren, Donna. So yeah, I started seeing all these strange comments coming through and thought, something's going on. And finally, I saw one of the comments, the notifications that said, you've been featured as YouTube's trending up and coming whatever. And I thought, wow, I'm just some gardener guy, in Houston. And I can't pronounce half these names, guys. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'll just go live tonight and say how thankful I am for everybody. Karen, Brooke, hey, how you doing? California, I got folks all over. Wow. But Michelle P, hey, how you doing? Man, I'm so grateful for all your comments and questions, Michelle. There are certain people on my channel who comment all the time, and you see their comments come through and you think, well, there's a good question there. Katie, Texas, hey, man, welcome, neighbor. Katie, named after the MKT Railroad. You see all your regular commenters, and you've got a community there. And I so appreciate you guys for all the community that we have and all the wonderful back and forth that we have. And, it's just such a good feeling to wake up every morning, go through my comments and see, wow, we have something special. People asking questions, people saying, hey, you really helped me. And I'm just some guy, I'm not an expert gardener. I struggle to say that, I'm even a really good gardener. I get by and I share what I do, and I hope you guys learn from me. So, hey, Morris Junction, McKenna, Fiona, Amy, Michelle P again, Renee H, Donna, Ranwar, Robstown, Texas. Where is that? I don't know where Robstown is. Deb, hey, how you doing, Deb? Yeah, I'm glad I had something to contribute to your garden. Grateful Grandma Patty, hey, how you doing? So yeah, I thought I'd just go live here, and I'm about to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'm so grateful. You have to understand, I garden, and I would garden anyway, and I would always do my garden for many years. I've been gardening, but since I started a YouTube channel, it took me about actually, I had a YouTube channel for 4 years. Most of my first year of YouTube videos have been removed from my channel. They were no good. They were bad. But next to Corpus Christi, man, that's down there, like zone 10, zone 9B. But so my channel, I was doing it because I like to share. I like to teach. I used to blog when in the days of blogs. I used to do a lot of blogging. And hey, Deep South, how you doing, brother? And so I did my YouTube channel basically because I wanted to just kind of share what I was doing and get feedback from people. And then it started to pick up a little bit. And I did my pruning peppers video, which is still my best video. And it was really controversial because my terminology wasn't accurate. And I didn't do all the things that, you're supposed to talk about in that video. But man, that video is still crazy these days, over 1 million views. So that one video was what kind of launched me. And then I started thinking, wow, maybe I could make some money on my YouTube channel. And like I said, I would garden anyway, but I actually do. I actually do make money off of my YouTube channel, and that encourages me to keep doing stuff and keep trying stuff and experimenting. And it's also helped me to really try things I might not have tried before for the benefit of you guys and all my subscribers, like the Dave's Fetid Swamp Water Fertilizer. I would have never tried that. My buddy David the Good down in the tropics, he composts with this anaerobic compost tea. You basically take all your weeds, table scraps, and throw them in a barrel and pour water on it. Wait till that stuff gets really gnarly and nasty, and it really stinks bad. It stinks so bad I can hardly stand to open it. But I tried that, and it worked. I did a side-by-side comparison last spring and summer between Dave's Fetid Swamp Water Fertilizer and fish emulsion. And I did that on my okra. And a lot of you guys are asking me, did you do a video to show the result? No, I didn't do a video. I failed you guys. But I'm here to tell you now that they performed just the same. There was no difference. Who's here? Let's see. We got some more folks tuning in. Samantha from Iowa, welcome. Jesse Cruz, hey, how you doing? Reyes from Puerto Rico, hey, how you doing? Melanie Gomez, yeah, I do include my son in my videos. The whole YouTube thing with children, though, last year there was a big YouTube lawsuit that it was all about violating the federal guidelines on privacy and children. And a lot of YouTubers checked out. A lot of YouTube channels for children actually were demonetized, and that content's gone. They're not doing anymore. And that content was really good content, but because of federal regulations and things like that, YouTube just kind of came down with a draconian fist and shut down a lot of made for children content. And so now, if me as a gardener, if my son is in a video, that's risky for me now, because that could be interpreted as made for children. And if it's made for children, I can't monetize that video. And that's a real discouragement for people who are actually making their living off of YouTube. And yeah, so a lot of channels have gone by the wayside. A lot of channels have checked out. One of my favorite gardening channels. Okay, so one of my favorite gardening channels is not even close to me. She's like in zone -7 up in the high mountains of Montana, Finith. She lives in a little house. It's aerial. Go check out Finith if you live up in the north. She looked into all this, and I haven't seen a video from her since all this YouTube children thing came down. And she doesn't even have children, but I think she might have been really put off by that. But then again, it just might be the seasons up there. Yeah, Jason, swamp juice is truly foul, but it is effective. Hey, Tiny Garden in South Carolina, how you doing there? Michelle P. Yeah, Brett, Greg, welcome. I don't speak Cyrillic, so I can't see, but hello. Thank you from Ohio. Lisa Lee, thank you. Susan Baker. Jesus Christ, my King, 50K. Yeah, he's my king too. Nicholas La Rochelle, thank you for all the videos you make. Yeah, thank you. I try to be friendly. If I'm not friendly, well, leave me a comment. Jesse Cruz, hey, how you doing, Jesse? Donnie, Mega Angela 35 from California. Hey, how you doing, California? Hey, I'm a live stream. My daughter just walked in. You want to be on a live stream nationwide? Come on over here. Karen B. Hill. Hey, Karen, how you doing, Karen? There's my daughter. Welcome to the whole world. So yeah, so the whole children thing really shut down a lot of YouTubers, and I'm sad to see it. So that's why you don't see Samuel, my son, in a lot of my videos. Thank you. Oh man, thank you, Karen, for the super chat. There's that avocado, guys. You know, avocado or a pear? David thinks he's an avocado. I seem to think he's a pear. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're so generous. Awesome. Hey, Mina. Central Valley, California. Lisa Lee, David Pruitt. Man, so many familiar names. Green Love, Vincent, Melanie Gomez. Jealous of you guys down south. Yeah, you know what? It's already getting to be um, late spring for me in Zone 9. I'm actually on the border of Zone 9A and Zone 9B. Some years I'm kind of Zone 9B. I'm really just about 20 miles from the coast, so we get a bit of the Gulf of Mexico helping us, kind of stay in 9A because it really tempers the water. Um, tempers our temperatures. I guess that's how you say it. So like I'm in the Houston area. If you go up into Dallas, man, they get like blistering summers up there because they don't have the Gulf of Mexico sitting there being a big heat sink. But yeah, we get 9B in Florida, Susan. Yeah, you know what it's about in summers. It's awful. It's absolute. We question every year, why do we live here? Why are we here? From about July to about the end of October, we're questioning, why do we even live here? It's so miserable, and nothing will grow. But yeah, stuff will grow. You just have to choose the right crops. So anyway, that's why you don't see Samuel. Get back to the topic. Samuel is in some of my videos, but he's not in as many of the videos, and that makes me real sad. I'd really like to feature my son. He helps me out in the garden a lot, and he really is a big help to me, and he's very active in the garden. He gets his share of YouTube money for the amount of work he does, but I don't feature him intentionally on my channel as much as I would have, mainly because of the regulation and the lawsuits and all of that nonsense that goes on because people are busybodies. So let me look at some of these comments here. I don't have my glasses on, so I have to like lean forward. Still cold there, Donnie. Wow, man, I would love some cold weather. Green Love, thank you. Single seed challenge. Yeah, hey man, golly, the single seed challenge has taken off, and especially in the UK. The single seed challenge was a thing where I started this just kind of on a whim. Actually, one of you guys suggested it, and excuse me. One of you guys suggested, hey, I'd like to see you take a single seed from the seed all the way up to the plant, all the way through its whole life. And yeah, that was a good deal, man. So I started this single seed challenge just so that we could take one single seed and focus on the small seed itself. One seed, not like I'm going to just select one plant out of my crop of onions or my crop of tomatoes, but no, one unique seed. And we're going to baby that seed, plant it, bring it up to a seedling, baby that thing along through its whole lifestyle. And the beauty of that is that you can watch one seed grow and track the whole lifestyle of a single plant that you care for and you tend. And for me, I like to just kind of revel in the fact that I can look at the seed. I can go back in my and look at that single seed and think, wow, my whole plant that's 5 feet tall now came from one single seed, and I can track its growth. And it's just such a beautiful thing to see. My single seed challenge is black Russian. I want to say it's a black beauty. I always mistake it in my videos for black Russian, but it's actually a black beauty tomato. And it's about 4 feet tall now, and it's really suffering from the heat we have coming on right now. I had some blossom end rot. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of video potential to show you how to deal with problems that are coming out of that single seed. But I've been watching your single seed challenge videos, and I try to comment on them, and I can't keep up. There's so many of them now. Single seed challenges all over the nation, all over the world. People are growing tomatoes and beans and squashes and peppers and all kinds of crazy things. And it's just a joy to see. It's wonderful. So let me look at some of the comments here, man. Everybody's just kind of overwhelming me with support, and I'm so grateful. Vera, hey, how you doing, Vera? Lazarus, thank you. Lisa Lee, going to track a bean seed this year. Good, go for it. And if you're in the single seed challenge, if your seed doesn't come up, or if it comes up and it dies, try again, man. We're only not even halfway through the year, so there's plenty of time. I know one guy. I'm not sure who it was. There's several of you guys actually who had you're like on your third start. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the daughter I mailed the cabbage to, Marie. She had to come back home for coronavirus. Had to be safe and all. So their college shut down. But yeah, she's the one I mailed it was a cauliflower actually, and she left for college in December, actually in January 1st or so. in Florida, and she loved cauliflower, and I was growing the cauliflower for her in my winter garden. And so I told her, I'll send you some. And so when I got my cauliflower, when it came in, and I could get some because my dog was eating my cauliflower. I got a corgi, Phoebe, and my dog was eating cauliflower out of my garden. So when I finally got ahead, I made a big deal of sending it to her, and she appreciated that. Her and all her roommates had cauliflower that night. So let's see here. I can't keep up with you guys. If I miss your hello, hello. Oh, up in Michigan, Bren, man, you can't count. You can't plant there yet. Cold up there. Now I have a friend from Michigan who says that if anybody says, "Where do you live in Michigan?" they do the hand thing, and I say, "I live right here." So that was kind of cool. And I got a buddy, actually, Frank Williams. My buddy Frank Williams. He lives in Flint, Michigan, and we communicate back and forth on Facebook. But I haven't talked to Frank in a while because I've been too busy. But Frank, if you're listening, thank you for the lawnmower recommendations. I got a buddy up in Flint, so yeah, Michigan's kind of special to me. I got some friends up there. Jason, you got about 30 single seed growers in one playlist. Awesome. Yeah, I can't keep up with them. Man, there's so many, especially in the UK. I got all my buddies over there, and I guess they're probably asleep right now. Hey, New Mexico, how you doing, Tony? Good to see you. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back through here. I've never done a live stream for my garden channel. This is the first one, so I'm kind of just playing off of what I see other people doing. I've done live streams for my church. I'm a pastor, and we're quarantined right now, so I'm doing all our church stuff online. But I use a different system for live streaming there. This is actually kind of different and kind of nice. Hey, from Austin, Sherry, how you doing? Thank you for the congratulations, Reagan L. Hey, Reagan, how you doing? You lost your pepper and tomatoes in Kentucky last weekend. It got down 29. Oh man. Yeah, I heard a lot of people in the middle part of the country suffered from that big cold front. What a disaster! What an untimely disaster! That cold front made it here, and it actually lowered the temperatures from about 90 to about 80. And we were all out bike riding and having fun and sitting in the backyard. But I know some of you guys got hit hard by that. So yeah, that was rough. Let's see, Dave, how you doing? Thanks. Carla, thank you. Amen 12. I can't read it, but thank you. So, I'm about to tell me if this is ethical, guys. Hey, Luce from Southern Arizona. I have a video that launched my channel called Pruning Peppers for Maximum Production, and it's not a very good video. It was one of my earlier videos, and Samuel and I went out there, and a lot of people really like it, but a lot of people didn't. They told me lots of things that I should be doing differently. And hang on just a second here. All right. You're going to spam my live stream. I'm going to hide you. Sorry, Amen 12. You're hidden. So Sam and I did this video, and it launched my channel, but it's not very good, and I need to give better information. I've learned a lot more since, and I'm going to redo that video with more complete information, and I'm going to name it the exact same thing and use the exact description. You think it's going to be, you think that's unethical to kind of rip off your own video? I don't think it is. I'm going to do that. I follow a guy. If you have a YouTube channel, here's a tip. If you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to grow your channel, go check out Brian G. Johnson. And he is a mentor for YouTube channel guys. And he helps to tell you what to do and what not to do, how to grow your channel, mistakes you can make. And a lot of guys I see have really long intros. Their intros are 7 to 10 to 15 seconds long, and that destroys their channel. I was in video production. Before I was a pastor, I was a media professional. I did video production and video editing and things like that, creative direction. And hey, Madison, Missouri. I think it's Missouri, MS. Golly, I'm so, wow, public school. Anyway, the longer your intro, the more people you're going to drop. And that was one of the things I learned. Things about how to cut and edit and chop. I take 90% of what I film in the garden and chop it out and only put in what's there. Go watch Brian G. Johnson. You don't have to do everything he says, but learn how to glean from him. And he really helped me. And I credit him for me taking off and really getting into almost 50,000. I don't know. Am I at 50,000? I'm going to drop y'all off for just a second while I look at my channel dashboard. Yes. Wow. 50,000. We made 50,000 during the live stream. Thank you so much. I'm at 50,018 subscribers at this moment. That is a milestone. That was my goal for the whole year. And it's not even halfway over. We made the goal. So let me see here. I'm going to go through some of the comments. It's so nice to hang out with y'all. I follow David the Good, and I've read all his books, and he's kind of my garden mentor. If you don't follow David the Good, go follow him. He's in the tropics, but he once lived in Florida and Tennessee, and he can tell you how to garden in these kind of environments in the South, and you can glean from him. But I check into his live stream all the time, and there's a community there of people. There's some of y'all in here tonight, these David the Good followers, but I have a community too. I recognize a whole lot of you folks, and I'm so grateful that you tuned into the live stream, my very first live stream. It feels like family, and I'm so humbled. So I want to go through and just check out some of these. Yeah, I need a moderator. That's sure. That's for sure. But oh man, you wouldn't know how much spam I got today from being on the YouTube homepage. I got tons and tons and tons of spam. But Ruth Ann, thank you. Yeah, Lisa Lee, I need a moderator bad, don't I? I don't know how to do that yet. This is my first live stream. I'll figure that out as it goes. Hello, Angela. Hello, Lauren. Susan, thank you for the congratulations from Southeast Michigan. So let's see. Southeast would be down here. I don't know if the image is flipped. Down here. Let's see here. Scrolling down, scrolling down. Y'all are commenting too fast for me, way too fast for me. Tina, South Carolina, thank you. Unsalted tomato. Yes, I recognize you. Yeah, that's a David the Good groupie there. Let's see. Amy Frank, you did green zebra for your single seed challenge. Awesome. Is it coming up? Let me know. Alice, hello, life listed as an updated version of. Yeah, I think I'll do that, Alice. I think I'm going to amend the title. I'm going to use the same title because that seems to really resonate with the YouTube search algorithm. And if I want to piggyback on my good video, I should use the same info but add a little bit to it. Hey, Mitchie Dowd in Corpus too. I used to go to Corpus a lot when I was a kid. My parents would go down there. We'd go to the beach, but I haven't been there in like 40 years. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate it. Dory, thank you. So much good vibes going on right here. Use my right hand for the Michigan geography, Reagan. Okay, my right hand. All right, so southeast would be down here. I'm all messed up in terms of geography of the North. I've been to Michigan, but I haven't been extensively there. Manny, thank you. South Central Louisiana. Manny, we grew some sugar cane that was grown in Louisiana, and it's actually coming up down on my son's property. Black Gumbo Southern Gardening South is my son's property, and we're about to do some more videos down there with regard to his raising of chickens. My son just went crazy this year. He's got rabbits, he's got chicken, he's got quail, turkey, ducks, and a couple of guard geese. And yeah, I'm going to go do some videos down there as well and kind of share, because you guys helped us with the chickens. But since he got the chickens, he got his confidence, and now he's got like all kinds of stuff. Let's see here. Oh, thank you so much. Jonathan Mooney. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing, brother? Yes, I'm on YouTube, and you saw me on the trending page. Wow, man, I was just talking about you the other day, in a good way, of course. Jonathan Mooney. I've known Jonathan for many years. He lives around the corner, basically, from us. Used to go to church with Jonathan. Let's see here. Mitchie Dowd, you went and started pruning your peppers. You know what? I pruned some peppers just the other day. So I went out there. I've got some peppers that are about that tall. What's that, a foot tall? And I've had them in pots, and I raised them up specifically to be prop peppers, to show you how to prune peppers. And so it's been about 4 days, and I pruned this one pepper. And I was thinking, okay, in about a week, it'll start bushing out, and I can use that in my upcoming video to show you how they bush out. Man, that pepper hadn't bushed out yet at all. And so, so I might have to do another one, and the pepper pruning video might have to come later. But yeah, so I'm going to actually show the results in my next video. In my last pepper pruning video, I didn't show the results until I had a garden tour come out, and people couldn't find it because it's, you know, kind of folded into a garden tour. And everyone's asking me, "What's the results? Can you show the result?" That was 3 years ago, and I can't show you the results. Those peppers are gone. But yeah, I'm going to do that this year, and but my plant's not cooperating with me, so I might have to do another one. All right, let's see here. Vera, you're in Northeast Mississippi. When I think of Mississippi, Vera, man, I think so. My family used to go to Florida all the time, and we drive from Houston to Florida. And going down I-10, when you get over the Chafalaya Basin in Louisiana and go through New Orleans, then all of a sudden you hit Mississippi, and it's like this wall of pine trees for the whole way. And that's what I remember from my childhood. Is it's just a wall of pine trees on each side. So that's what I remember about Mississippi. Green Love, you live in California. Thought we were in a similar gardening zone, but my plants look so much bigger. Yeah, you know, zone 9 has to do with all of our zones are pegged on our last average frost date and our first average frost date. And our frost dates might be the same, but our climate can be wildly different. If you look at a zone 9 map, it goes way up into California, almost and maybe even further than San Francisco. And that just has to do with frost date. But what also helps our plants, or hinders our plants in my case, is the humidity. I live in a place where I'm looking now, we've got 80% humidity. Humidity plays a big part of our gardening here. It's subtropical. And for example, my squash right now, my squashes are about done. They're succumbing to not blossom end rot, powdery mildew, and I can't keep on top of it. I've tried, and I'm just letting them go. So my squashes are suffering because of the humidity, and that's just a difference in region. So you might be in zone 9A, and the temperatures and the frost dates might be the same as mine. But if you're on the West Coast and you've got that Pacific climate thing going on over there, this rainforests to be all up in Washington or Oregon, that's a totally different climate, even though it's the same zone. So yeah, you're going to get some differences in the performance of food. Like my spring garden is almost finished. It's my tomatoes are starting to look sad. My micro tomatoes are virtually done. They're giving up the ghost. My in-bed tomatoes will last me into the summer, but a lot of the other plants I've got going on, they're about to give up. They're done. So yeah, it has to do with the various intricacies of your climate, not just the temperature, but the humidity, daylight hours, and length of days, things like that. So let's see, man, I can't keep up. Mary H, thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. Wow, y'all are so generous tonight. Question: have I grown artichokes in the South? Mitch, no, I have never grown artichokes. In fact, I've not grown a lot of stuff. People ask me questions about have I grown artichoke or asparagus or celery. I've not grown any of those. In fact, this is the first year I've grown sweet potatoes. I grew them as a kid and watched people grow them, but I've never grown them myself. So there's a lot of stuff I haven't grown yet. And that's why I'm so humbled that today I got 50,000 subscribers, because I'm just some gardener kind of muddling along and trying to share what I learn and what I know and what I don't know. And I haven't really gardened extensively. I've been gardening in my backyard here for 15 years off and on. So I guess maybe about 12 years. There was a few years I missed in there. But what I grow is kind of the standard stuff and the same thing every year. I'm really a tomato fan, and that's been the focus of my garden for years. But I haven't grown artichoke. I haven't grown celery. But I'm going to branch out in some of those things after this whole shortage of food thing is done. So let me see if there's any more questions. So Mitchie Dowd. Trying okra, but I don't get full sun. Sherry, will do good with like 8 hours. You can get 8 hours of sun. You should be good. Mary, again, thank you so much. Powdery mildew, Michael Perry, I'm sorry. You're not the Michael Perry in Santa Fe, are you? Artichokes are tough on the coast. Yeah, I imagine they probably would be. I thought it was difficult to grow cauliflower, broccoli, and some of those brassicas here on the coast. But I grew them this winter, and I started them in October and harvested them in February. And yeah, I grew some great brassicas. It was awesome. Tips on growing limes, Mahima. I have some key limes growing, and I have a kaffir lime, which you grow for the leaves. I don't have a lot of tips yet because I'm still kind of learning and trying. I'm growing them currently in pots, but all citrus is almost the same in my area. And in my area, citrus grows wonderfully in the ground. I just don't have room for all of it just yet. And so, no, I don't have tips for growing it in the pot, in a pot, but my Meyer lemon tree that I have in my backyard is in the ground. And I just stuck it in the soil and let it go. And I don't do anything to it. I don't fertilize it, but I do prune it every year and keep it small. I want a small and short fruit tree. There's a book. I think I have it out here, but I don't see it. It's called Grow a Small Fruit Tree, and I learned about this from David the Good. I thought, yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Keep my fruit trees small. I drive through my neighborhood and I see people with orange trees that are 30 feet tall and they can't get the fruit and it just rots and falls to the ground. It seems like such a waste to me. Nor can you treat those trees when you get a disease because they're so tall. It costs you a lot of money to have them treated. Um, so yeah, I'm keeping my Meyer lemon tree about 10 feet tall at the max, and I just chop it down, chop it back, and it's got tons of fruit on it. My suggestion with growing citrus is to keep the tree a single trunk tree, let it branch out, and keep the center of it open and keep it short. They say you shouldn't prune fruit trees, but I prune mine I prune mine every year, almost with reckless abandon, and I get more lemons than I can use. And I'm going to do the same with all my fruit. Let's see here. Um, Question about cucumbers. Waking up and finding the leaves super wet and almost look like they got cooked. Then they brown off and harden up. Tebow to Harvin, I don't know. So your leaves are super wet. Look like cooked. They brown and harden off. I don't know what's going on there. That's bizarre. I mean, if it's dew in the morning when you get up, that's just one thing. But you'll see on cucumbers and cucurbits, melons, pumpkins, that in the heat of the sun, they'll droop and they'll wilt. And you'll think, man, my plants are done for. But they perk up at the end of the day. I've got some melons growing right around the corner from where I'm sitting. And they look like they were so sad this afternoon, but they're all perked up now. So I don't know what's going on if the leaves are browning and hard and fall off. I wish I could help you. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't have extensive experience. I can just tell you what I've done and what I know. Donnie Reynolds, growing potatoes for the first time. I grew potatoes this year for the first time too, and the reason I grew potatoes was because of Prairie Plant Girl. She's like in zone negative 52 up in Canada, and she grows potatoes in containers, and I'm like, man, look at all those potatoes she's dumping out on a tarp just up there with a short grow season. I can do that. I learned my lesson. I bought determinate potatoes and I was going to hill them up, and I've got videos about that. But I've received a harvest this year, and it's not as much as I had thought that I would get or hoped I would get from the determinates, but they're potatoes I grew. And in those same containers, I can grow sweet potatoes. People have questioned, can you grow sweet potatoes after potatoes? Is that like bad crop rotation? Sweet potatoes are morning glory plants, actually. They're totally different family, so I think it'll be fine. I guess we'll find out together. Um, let's see here. Arkansas woodcutter. Yeah, I did cross 50K today. Awesome. Is it worth trying to grow citrus in zone 8? Yes, it is, Marion. If you grow citrus in containers, especially in zone 8, I've seen people grow citrus in zone 8 and they keep the trees small, cover the trees when it's frosty and wintry. But if you grow the citrus in a container and you can take it in somewhere when it gets cold, then yeah, it's totally worth it. You can really grow it there, especially if you have a south-facing brick wall or something. You can push the zone and keep that heat in that wall, and that'll help kind of make your zone 8 into maybe a zone 9. Yeah, here in zone 9, the citrus is all up and down the street, so Even when we get freezes, it pushes through. Let's see, I got one held back. There we go. Thank you. Good night, Karen. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. More of the old Dave the Good crowd. Rosemary died. Any suggestion? No, Bibster 1705. I kill rosemary all the time. I buy new rosemary and I try to grow it. I've learned that rosemary doesn't really like to be watered very much. When I water my garden, I skip the rosemary and just let it live with what it gets from the rain. And now I've got rosemary, and my last year's rosemary has come up. I planted some new rosemary, and it's doing fine. I just don't water it. It's kind of an arid climate plant, so maybe back off on the watering. So let's see here. We got. Do you have any tips on growing pumpkins? I wish I did, Claire. Claire, I kill all my pumpkins. The vine borers get my pumpkins before I can get to them. I'm growing pumpkins now. I tried to start early. If I have a successful crop of pumpkins this year, I'll let you know what I did. But so far, every pumpkin plant that I've tried to start, they die from vine borers and heat because I don't know that I'm in the right place. I tried to grow some Seminole pumpkins, which are tailored for zone 9. They're actually from Florida. They thrive in subtropical climates. I got some Seminole pumpkin seeds from my friend Dana Robertson in Hawaii, but they didn't come up, and I may have planted them too early. It wasn't warm enough. But yeah, I'll keep trying to find that particular variety of pumpkin that works here. I'm going to keep trying because I really want to grow pumpkins. How long would it take for a citrus tree to fruit when started from seed? 7 years, 5 to 7 years, depending on the variety, and sometimes longer. I was down in Lake Jackson, Texas, with a famous citrus grower here in Texas, and he's got the biggest collection of citrus privately owned in the state. And he started a grapefruit tree that from seed. He was breeding them actually, and it didn't grow for 15 years. So he told me, this was his great breeding attempt to try to grow a new variety. And 15 years on that. Citrus you usually grow from grafts. You take a good strong rootstock and graft on the scion that is the variety you want. Because most citrus, I'll just leave it at that. Most citrus does best when grown from grafting. So 7 years is the average on citrus, is what I understand. You thought horseradish was made from horses, Officer Sausage? Well, yeah, from your name, I would imagine so. That's funny. Let's see here. Mama Raja, someone completely chopped your tomato plant. You thought it was dead, but it started growing again. Do you know how that happened? Yeah, so a tomato plant is super resilient. Most people are far too tender with their tomato plants. Tomato plants, you can just chop off a branch of a tomato plant, stick it in some moist soil, and it's going to sprout roots and grow. You chop a tomato plant down to the ground, and that root system down there is going to send up more shoots. It really, really wants to grow, and they do great. So, Mahima, it will. Those tomato plants will grow like crazy. In fact, one of the trimmings I took from one of my tomato plants this year, I just shoved it in my brand new soilless lasagna garden that's still active compost, and it took off. It's growing now. So let's see. Do I recommend grow lights for prolonging growing season? Mikiso Extra. I don't know. You mean like indoors or outside? No, I don't use anything outside. I have 3 growing seasons in my zone. I'm blessed with that. So I just grow throughout the year and pull stuff out when it's done. So thank you, Helen. Thank you for the hello. Appreciate it. Hello, Isvin. Good to see you. Sarai Cervantes Rodriguez. Hello. Yeah, zone 8, big, nice lemon tree in zone 8. So yeah, you can grow up into zone 8 there. Nice to see that. Thanks, Renee H. Have a good evening. Jason, rosemary doesn't seem to like it too cold either. Jason, my family goes most summers up to Wimberley, Texas, which the central portion of Texas is very arid and hilly and full of limestone. It's hot, doesn't get a lot of rain. And there's an HEB grocery store there. And then back around the grocery store is a retaining wall. And cascading over this retaining wall, like a waterfall, is rosemary. And it just grows there like crazy. And so every time we go there, I clip some. But I can't seem to get it to do the same. It's crazy. Thank you, Ilias. Are you a Christian? Sarai Cervantes Rodriguez. Am I a Christian? Yes. I believe in Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. Let's see. It keeps jumping around on me. I can't keep up where I'm going. If I'm skipping your question, it's because I don't understand how to do live streaming as efficiently as I should. Green Love. Try growing pumpkins from seed starts. Yeah, you know what? I could get a head start that way, couldn't I? Yeah, I got another troll there. I got a lot of trolls. Yeah, it gives me great pleasure just to delete them. Giant mammoth sunflowers planted in pots. I wouldn't think so. When you plant a plant in a pot, you want to think about how much plant's going to grow out of that and the mass of that plant, whether it's tall, skinny, or big and bushy. The root system is going to be that much root system or even more. And so your pot needs to be about the same. So I don't know if I'd put that in Max. I don't know if I'd put giant mammoth sunflowers in pots. I planted some outside of my house on the side of my garden, and they grew up to the second story. And I can't imagine that would do that in pots. You could try it and let us know. All right, I saw a question and then it jumped away here. Let's see. Marion, what do you like to use to get rid of munching caterpillars on tomatoes and peppers? I like to use neem oil. Neem oil spray. Just mix it up according to the instructions and spray it on there. Neem oil stops almost every crunching, munching animal. What it does, it gets in their system and it blocks their ability to feed, and they die in a couple of days. So, Hot Toddies, hello, thank you. Good to see you. Max, you asked me the same question 50 times. Bye-bye. Southeast Alabama, Karen. As soon as you put your plants out, the squash bugs started appearing. You covered them. What else can you do? Yeah, man, squash bugs. Anything with squash is hard. You got to beat the bugs, and oftentimes you lose out. So I don't know what else you could do except maybe treat with BT, which is a bacterial natural insecticide. You know what, Karen? Go check out Old Alabama Gardener if you haven't already, and see if he's got any advice for you there. He's got a lot of videos and he knows what he's doing. I like Charles over there, Old Alabama Gardener. I've covered some plants before, and the bugs still got in, and I'm not sure how they did that, but they did. Let's see here. Loquats in Maryland. Wow, that's cool. I don't like loquats. We got a neighbor who's got some loquats, and I plucked some fruits off of there, and I bet they would make good jelly and jam and stuff. Any suggestions on what to plant now in Florida? I've started tomatoes. What zone are you in, Bibster? In Florida? Florida's so unusual. David the Good teaches a lot about Florida gardening. I would suggest you check out his channel. To plant now, you're probably dealing with summer gardening. I'm about to start my summer gardening too. Sweet potatoes. If you're south enough in Florida, you can plant true yams, like David says. Sweet potatoes, beans, heat tolerant things like eggplant, cowpeas. Guys, if you don't plant cowpeas in your hot summers, you're missing out. So a cowpea is like a crowder pea, like a black-eyed pea, purple pea. Not only do they give you a lot of bang for your buck, they grow through the summer. They grow in awful soil, and they are also they're nitrogen fixers. Now I know that some people say they're not nitrogen fixers after they fruit and put on the beans, but yeah, there's still a little there. If you pull up the roots, you'll see the nodules down there, even after they've fruited. So yeah, cowpeas. I'm going to do a whole video soon on what to plant in the summer because I'm about to do summer planting. Corn does well for me in the summer. Eggplant, okra. Just get on your county extension office website and find out on their chart of planting what grows well in the summer. There's so many different little variances in our various locations and our zones and our climates and our soil types that your county extension office is actually a really good resource. Any goals for your garden this year, Lisa Lee? Yeah, I want to have 3 seasons of garden this year. I'm about to start my summer, and they overlap a bit. But the goals for my garden this year were to get to 50,000 subscribers, which I did today. Thank you very much. Because I make money off of my garden from YouTube. My other goals were to provide some food for my family to kind of stem our grocery bill. My garden's so small that I cannot really impact as much as I'd like that grocery bill. So yeah, my goal is for my garden to have 3 consecutive seasons like I did last year. Let's see if I can answer some other questions here. Sunchoke, Troy, I don't know. I've never grown some sunchoke. I don't know. Loquat is good in a juicer. It's a sickness. Yeah, you know what? I juice every now and then, and I love juicing. I have a good juicer. That's cool. I'll consider that. Can you put the chat in slow mode? I don't know how to do that. This is my first chat, my first live stream. So I'll figure that out. I'll look into it and see what slow mode's all about. Cucumbers, lots of bugs on yours and it died. No, cucumbers, you got to get them in early and grow them and get your cucumbers because something's going to kill them. Yeah, Muka, 50K sub celebration indeed. Thank you so much. Will melons grow in Pennsylvania? I don't know. Probably. There's probably something. I mean, northern melons, Cucurbita maxima is a more northern variety. If you don't deal with vine borers up in Pennsylvania, then you should be good. I can't speak to that authoritatively. Cukes are kind of yellow and growing slow. I don't know what to do. Super Rumpus, hit them with some fish emulsion. Mix up some fish emulsion. If your plants are kind of yellow and they should be growing at this time and they're getting plenty of water, it means you probably have a lack of nitrogen in your soil. Fish emulsion is basically pure nitrogen. It's a 511, and that'll do. Yeah, T-Bo DeHarvin, I can't post pictures in Super Chat, but I do have some. I do have a Facebook page, and once again, I've been on Facebook for so long, but I don't know how to use it really well. So you guys that are sending me pictures, I get a notification on Facebook says, "Hey, you got a picture or a post to approve," and I just go and comment. I can't find where to approve it, and I think if I comment, you see the comment, but I don't know if it posts to my Black Gumbo Southern Gardening Facebook page wall. But yeah, you can send me stuff to my Facebook page. Let's see here. In Florida, grow your tomatoes in the winter. Big Wave, Florida. Yeah, you know, I've had some tomatoes go through my winter here. I had a tomato make it through the winter this year and ate some tomatoes in December and January. It was amazing. Cowpeas are your favorite bean. Wonder if they'll grow in a dry, hot climate. Green Love, yes. Actually, cowpeas, I grew cowpeas because I saw documentaries on how they would take cowpeas into basically the Sahara, and they would grow cowpeas in Africa for famished, impoverished people groups. And they would plant this stuff directly in sand, basically, and they would thrive. Very little water, very little tending, and you get free food. And the whole plant is edible. And when you're done with the cowpeas, the whole plant makes great compost. So, Deborah, you have how deep do you need to how deep do you need for sweet onions? I have a patio planter about 6 inches deep. That ought to do. Onions don't go down super deep. The roots do get out there and spread out. I found onions do best in the ground for me. Carla Garner, thank you so much for the super chat. Man, I'm so grateful. Did I miss anybody here? Let's see. I don't think I did. Carla, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Super chat money. You know what? All my YouTube revenue at this moment is going to pay first my taxes, and then I need a new roof. And so I'm saving up for a new roof. Thank you, Arkansas Woodcutter. Good guy, man. Y'all go follow Arkansas Woodcutter. Check out his channel. Go check out Jason Avers, too. He's in our chat tonight. Go check out his channel. Jason, man, Jason had a good intro to his latest video. Go check that out. All right, let's see. A watermelon that's like the size of your hand, is that good? Well, I mean, I don't know. If you can eat it, it's good. But mango, I grew watermelons, and I had some weird shaped ones last year. They were like, they looked like squash, and they were kind of small. But once the watermelon looked like it was ready to harvest and the stem started getting kind of dry, we cut that thing off. Yeah, it was good. We had good watermelon. All right, guys. Yeah, same thing. Roger Leary aligned with pots. Muka, what is stone fruit? Thank you, Schaffer Smorgasbord. Thank you for your subscription. Yeah, I'll have a cool dry place to make gardening vids. Carla, if I get a new roof, I'll have a place that I don't have to worry about when tropical storms come over and we have to do repairs in the house because I got a leaky roof. Yeah, patch jobs on roofs after hurricanes when your insurance company says, "Oh yeah, we'll cover your roof, but only what it's worth, and it's 20 years old. We'll give you $50." That's no good. And in my area, what was it, 2 years ago, maybe three, we had the biggest tropical storm on record in like history. And we had like the president coming to the neighborhood I grew up in and doing videos, and everybody was flooded. My house didn't flood, but my house did because of the rate of rainfall. The water ran down the slope and pooled up behind my house as it went around my house and came up into the back. And so we had to do some renovation and had some water damage through the roof that year too. So yeah, I need a new roof. So YouTube. Ever use liquid fence to keep deer? No, we don't have deer right here. I'm in the suburbs. The biggest critters we get are skunks and possums and roving cats. So Appalachia Fishing Club, good question though. If anybody knows about liquid fence to keep deer out, drop some advice there. A 16-foot sunflower in a 5-gallon bucket. Wow, Ned, that's awesome. Had a hard time keeping it watered though. Yeah, I used to grow tomatoes in a 5-gallon bucket, and that was my challenge. Was I grew fine, but 5 gallons of soil is not much in my heat, and in the summers, I would have to really water them like every day and sometimes twice a day. And I don't have a drip system or a soaker hose or any kind of irrigation system. I'm just standing out there like a chump with the water hose watering all my plants for an hour a day in 95-degree weather. That's no fun. So, yeah, there might be an upgrade in the future. Thank you, Chris Culp. Yeah, it's my first live. I've watched a lot of live streams, so I'm kind of trying to follow on what other people do. Do I have perennial vegetables? Any favorites? Green love? No, I don't. I don't have enough space really to justify perennial vegetables. Let me look. I have perennial fruits. I have some fruit trees and I have some grapevines, muscadine grapes. That's the only perennials. Yeah, Hurricane Harvey, Mitchie. Hurricane Harvey. It was Tropical Storm Harvey when it sat over us for 3 days and rained. It was awful. It was like a 500-year flood event. It was incredible. Let's see. Organics girl. Hi, Scott. Once my peppers turn red, will they get any bigger? Probably not. When they're red, it's time to eat them. So let's see here. I'm trying to get some questions in before I go eat dinner. For a project I'm going to do, I'm going to build a garden bed, but I don't know what to plant. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, I mean, you should know what to plant. You're Obi-Wan Kenobi. You should just know, right? The Force and all. So, Obi-Wan, go to your local I was going to say Harris County. Go to your local county extension office online, and they usually publish a chart of what you should plant and when you should plant it. And look on that chart and see what you should plant these days. And they'll often tell you start seeds or you should plant them as starts. And that's a good way to find out what to plant these days. That's how I do it. I find out, what grows here. And then sometimes I try to push it a little earlier. What's another good nitrogen fertilizer besides fish emulsion? I don't know. Nitrogen fertilizer besides fish emulsion? Guys, help me. I only use fish emulsion. Help out Organics Girl. Someone told me dog food makes a good fertilizer. Blood meal. There you go, Reagan L. Thank you, Reagan. Blood meal is good. The fetid brew, the fetid fertilizer stuff is high in nitrogen. It's pretty good. Ned, you think an ice age is coming? Not global warming, huh? Third year in a row that last frost date has been moved later in the year. Yeah, you know what? It's been a mild winter this year, but the previous winters we've had have been really actually kind of cold. Good night, Greta. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, it's a sickness. Urine and feather meal. Urine is a good high nitrogen fertilizer. Dilute it. Don't put it straight. Dilute it. Good raised soil to buy. I don't know, Ann. I went to my local dirt yard and bought their garden mix, and I was disappointed with um, the quality of the compost that they put in there. It had actually like builder compost from destroyed houses. There was lead paint in my garden, so um, you can build your garden up, but if you need soil right away, I would just make sure that you get a kind of a you go and look at your garden mix before you order it from your local dirt yard. Gophers, they take out a lot of plants. Floxy, I don't know. Gophers, them here, they can't burrow through our clay. I guess that's one benefit of black gumbo clay is they gophers can't get through it. I've seen I've seen guys use propane and blow the tunnels up. There's gopher traps. Okay, so here's the deal. Floxy, go check out Mousetrap Monday on YouTube. I mean, what a channel. This guy has every year he reviews a new mousetrap, and every now and then he reviews gopher traps. And maybe he can give you some ideas. Um, Never heard of kratom tree or kratom tree. Bok choy for the first time. No, just plant it, but plant it a little bit early. I don't know how well it does in the heat of my summers. It depends on what zone you're in. But yeah, I've started bok choy in indoors and planted it out. It grows great. And it's hard to kill bok choy. The bok choy though, the bugs and the slugs and the snails love it. So you got to get to it before they get to it. Thanks, Zoe Green. First live stream. Yeah, thank you. I'm doing good. I'm glad to know that. What if you take medicine and use urine? It depends. If you're Michelle P. If you're into, it depends on what your medicine you're taking. Obviously, if you're taking hormones and steroids and things like that, maybe that bothers you. It's all up to you. You got to decide what you're up, what you're doing. What you're comfortable with. Yeah, Kellogg's raised bed mix. Kellogg's the company is pretty good. I use Kellogg's for my potting soil, and Kellogg's has a YouTube channel actually, and you can go see how they make their compost. You can go see how they make their potting mix and their bed mixes. And yeah, it's industrial scale, but I think they're a responsible company. And from what I can tell, they're doing pretty good. They're actually a pretty decent company. I like Kellogg's. I pretty much use their stuff because it's the cheapest, but they're also a good company. How to do your own compost. Bibster 1705. How to do your own compost. Bibster, I love compost. I have a whole video on nothing but compost. And yes, I compost everything. I compost casseroles, chicken bones, dead kittens, fish, everything that comes out of my garden. Yeah. So if you go to my channel, I'm not going to go and try to link it right here, but if you go to my channel and just search compost, you'll see my video on compost. I love compost. Great stuff. Compost is the best stuff. How do I keep animals away if you use blood meal or fish emulsion? I have a dog who loves to lick fish emulsion off the end of the watering can. Once it's in there and it sits a couple hours, you don't smell it anymore. She doesn't get in there. So I haven't had a problem with animals coming in for fish emulsion. I do have occasional visitors to my compost pile. I actually have a game camera in there so I can see my buddies. And I have opossums and rats that come into my compost pile. But they're just doing the work for you. They're breaking stuff down, eating stuff, pooping it out. They're just doing the work of bacteria. They're just larger organisms. And one of my opossums who visits my compost pile, he really likes watermelon, and he's very smacky. Yeah, so I like to feed them. I don't mind them in my compost. If I had a dog or something that was spreading it around, and yeah, that'd be a problem. But if they're staying in the compost bin, that's where they're supposed to be. They're outside doing God's work. So yeah, I don't worry about critters. Northern San Antonio. Vicky, awesome. Do I ever grow lavender? No, I haven't grown lavender. I love San Antonio though, Vicky. That's one of my favorite cities in all the world. We go to San Antonio all the time. My son's wife comes from San Antonio, and yeah, I think the first time I went to San Antonio was 1968, the World's Fair. I was a little kid in a stroller, and I still remember it. Great city, man. I love San Antonio. Some of the best used bookstores on earth are in San Antonio. Yeah, compost happens everywhere. Yeah, Green Love recommends David the Good's book, Compost Everything. I strongly recommend that book as well. David the Good is a great book author, and he's got a new book coming out that you might want to check out if you live in Florida. Yeah, 30 pounds of crawfish heads in your compost. Awesome, man. I put about a pound of shrimp peelings and shrimp heads in my anaerobic compost tea just about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it's getting pretty ripe, but that's going to bring me some ocean minerals and mineralization in. So, well, guys, I'm going to tune off in just a few minutes here, and I wanted to say thank you for joining me tonight on my first live stream to celebrate 50,000 subscribers. 50,000 subscribers. That was my goal for the entire year. And thanks to you guys watching my videos and recommending our stuff. I'm so humbled and touched. So what a great community that's been built in the comment section, and I'm so appreciative. So you guys, if you like what we're doing here at Black Gumbo, share our videos around. If you've benefited from anything we've done, leave us a comment in one of our videos. And yeah, man, it's just been so awesome. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, in the name of Jesus. Thank you for subscribing, Elf77. Appreciate it. Mitchie. Good night, guys. It's been so fun to live stream with you guys. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat dinner. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on our next video, and maybe I'll live stream again. Hey, let me know in the comments on this video what's a good night for live streaming for anyone. It seems to be just whenever people are on, and we'll talk to you later. God bless you guys. Happy gardening.